Hi, this is Silvia Souza with the StencilGirl Creative Team, and this is my take on both Victorian paper dollhouses and a book which I have found very inspiring in working with mixed media and different kinds of clays, and that would be Laurie Mika's Mixed Media Mosaics. For this Laurie Mika inspired project, I found these 3 papier-mâché houses at Michael's, and I decided they'd make a great base. The first thing I had to do was use golden gesso to cover inside and outside. Using golden transparent paints, I then painted the inside. I used quinacridone red, phthalo blue, and phthalo green. I then used a heavy body golden paint, a Payne's gray, and I used the following stencils to stencil on the outside of the house. I tried to place the stencils in ways that sort of made sense, both decoratively and in terms of building materials. I then wanted to add some more details, cornices and things like that, so I used the red again, and I also used a turquoise, using these stencils to add cornices and other decorative details to give it a little bit more depth. Then I glazed the whole thing inside and outside using quinacridone nickel azo gold and red iron oxide. And now for the embellishments. I used paper clay to make the embellishments, and I tried to use stencils, but the clay's too wet and doesn't work well with stencils, so I dug out some rubber stamps that I had carved and also some erasers that I had carved 2 years ago for a 100-day project. And I used these by pushing the stamp into the paper clay, peeling it off, and then cutting it out with a razor. Then using a fairly big brush and getting into all the crevices, I used the colors that I had used for the inside of the houses to give the embellishments their first coat. I then, using the brush just across the top, used a mixture of different colors I had on my palette and grazed them with that. Then I used interference green orange to give it another coat. And lastly, using the pad of my finger and using iridescent gold, bronze, and copper, I brushed my finger across the top of them to make them look like they were a little metallic. I then had found some pieces at the dollar store, and in my studio I had some that I bought at a scrapbooking store a while ago that I thought would work well. Also, with the pad of my finger, I washed over these with the gold, bronze, and copper. And using a Sobo craft glue, I glued the embellishments on. And here are the final houses, the views of the sides and the front and the back.